Hey guys, it's Tina here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am back with a Tina Sashimi video. For those of you who don't know, Tina Sashimi is what I call my videos where you get to see the more raw side of me, the more unpolished and less edited version of my videos. So it's very different to my usual beauty content that you're probably used to. So this year for 2019, I want to share more with you guys. I want to share more about my life, my journey, my feelings, my experiences, because I know that when I share with you guys, it does help a lot of you feel like you're not alone. I feel like sometimes, you may see us YouTubers or Instagrammers or influencers online and just think that we have this perfect life, and you tend to kind of compare yourself to this image, but really, I'm just like you guys. I feel like we're all going through the same things. We want the same things in life. We all just want to strive and be happy and just feel fulfilled. So because of that, I want to make a conscious decision to share more. The thing about these videos, I feel like these are so much harder to make as opposed to my usual beauty content. Like, I guess I don't have a pile of makeup to hide behind, and it's just like me and you, and I'm just like putting everything out there and just, I guess, like sharing more about myself, and it's scary. So today I want to share with you something that I don't really talk about, and that is why I dropped out of school. A lot of you may not know that I left school early. I think I may have mentioned it a very long time ago briefly in a video, but ever since then I've never really spoken about it much. And in my normal personal life, I don't really go out and tell people that, yeah, I dropped out of school and whatnot. But it usually comes up in conversation when people ask me, oh, what uni did you go to? Or what year did you graduate? And my thought is like, oh gosh, I have to kind of like be honest and tell them I'm a high school dropout. I never went to uni, so I never graduated, and yeah. Now the funny thing is people's reactions have gotten better over the years. It used to be like, oh, you left school, oh, okay. Oh, you're a high school dropout. And those reactions kind of usually came from Asian parents or from those people who had a certain view on those who left school. But then as I guess I became more successful or more well-known online, when people found out that I did leave school, their reactions got better. They were more surprised, and they'd be like, oh my God, wow, like look how far you've come. That's amazing. So thank God, like I kind of made something of myself, because otherwise I would have had to endure all those disappointed reactions. Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys want to know, like, what was my thought process? What was I thinking at that time? And why did I leave school? And before I touch on that, I just want to give a big thanks to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. They're the first one to sponsor a Tina Sashimi video, so thank you so much. For those of you who don't know, Skillshare is an online community where you can go to learn and try new things. They have over 25,000 classes that cover an array of topics from arts and craft, photography, baking. You can even learn how to start your own YouTube channel or even your own business. I've personally been following their ceramics course because I've been really into pottery lately, so that's all I've been watching. For just $10 a month, you can get their premium membership, which gives you unlimited access so you can join the classes and communities that are just right for you and your New Year goals. Best of all, they're giving 500 of my subscribers a 2-month free trial. All you have to do is use the link in my description box below. So whether you want to fuel your curiosity, creativity, or even career, Skillshare is the perfect place to keep you learning and thriving for 2019. Now let's get into why I left school. Whew, where do I begin? I was 16 years old and I had just started year 11. And to be honest, at that time, I didn't really have a sense of self. Like I didn't really know who I was and what I wanted to do later in life. And I was kind of the rebellious kid. I say kind of because when I did go to school, I did really well and I did get good grades, but then I also skipped school a lot. I dated boys, and my dad did not allow that. He wanted me to study first and then date like after, when I was like 25 or something crazy like that. So my dad was like the typical Asian stern dad. And during that time in year 11, everyone's kind of worried about, okay, like what subjects am I going to do? How many credits I need to get into this course in university? Which universities can I go to? Whilst I'm here, I'm like, do I even want to go to university? Like, what do I want to do with my life? I really didn't know. None of the subjects at school really interested me besides art, but then again, I didn't really like the history side either. I just liked the more practical side, and all I knew was I was creative, but I didn't really know what kind of job I could get being creative. If it was up to my parents, they would have preferred me to be like a lawyer, a doctor, an accountant, all that typical like career path that most Asian parents wish their kids were in. But unfortunately, that didn't happen for me, obviously. And so I hated school. I didn't want to go to university. So it didn't really make sense for me to finish year 11 and 12 and then like get my grades and then apply to a university and do this course that I didn't really know if I wanted to do or not, because I've never tried it before, and then commit to like 4 years of studying and then try to get a job, because I didn't want to waste that like degree that I got, and then I would have all the student debt on top. So I thought to myself, why don't I just leave school and kind of just get out into the real world and figure it out like when I can. Hold on. Sorry about that. The FedEx guy called and he was like downstairs and had to deliver something. Now I've kind of like lost my train of thought. What was I saying? Yes, at that time I wanted to leave school and just get out to the real world, work, and then figure out what I wanted to do with life then. Great idea, right? The only problem was to convince my dad to let me drop out of school. Now you guys need to picture my dad. He is like a serious guy, you know what I mean? Like he's like that typical Asian dad that you would never like hug and kiss, or you would never kind of be affectionate and say, I love you, dad. Like we just didn't have that relationship. It was more like, I'm your dad, you are my child, you listen to me, and yeah, that was kind of like it. So I was really scared of my dad, and I really didn't know what he would say. And so like I had to be super prepared. I had all these like plans laid out that like, okay, I could work and then maybe go study these short courses or go to TAFE or go to college eventually when I saved enough money. And so I had all this stuff laid out for him when he got home from work, and I was like, hey dad, like I presented my idea, and the look on his face was like, and he just paused, and I felt like it was eternity. Like I just felt like, oh my God, my heart was sinking. I was so nervous. I was sweating. Thinking about it now makes me stressed. But luckily, my dad was just like, you want to leave school? Okay. And that was it. My dad was like, okay. And I was like, what the hell? Like my dad has been strict all my life. Like what gotten into him? Later, as I got older, I found out that he was going through some financial difficulties during that time, and I guess like maybe me leaving school was like, cool, less school fees to pay, and that was, you know, it helped relieve him of his stress. But anyway, so I got my way. I left school, and at that time I was working at Payless Shoes as a sales assistant, so I'd picked up a few extra shifts before I could find a full-time job. And I ended up finding work right near my house, like 10-minute drive away. My dad would drop me off in the morning, and I worked as a receptionist for a promotional products company. So they made like stress balls, pens, hats, like lanyards, like all that fun stuff. And that's where I got a taste of graphic design. Like I think they got me to help design a logo for one of their clients or something, and I really liked the process, and I was like, hey, this is creative, like I could do this. And so I thought, you know what, maybe I should go study graphic design. The only issue was that receptionist job was not paying well at all, and so I needed to save up 15 grand to go study. And that receptionist job, I think they were paying me like $8 an hour or something. Yeah, and I would like work overtime. They wouldn't pay me either. So it wasn't like an amazing paying job. And so I had to look for another job, and I found one at a call center in the city. Now, the city from my mum's house at that time was pretty far away. It took me about an hour and a half to get to work, and then like another hour and a half to get back. So like every day I was commuting 3 hours, and I absolutely hated that job. But it paid me $18 an hour, and that would get me closer to saving enough money for college. And like till this day, I actually get nightmares of still working at that place and like getting told off by the manager because I didn't make enough calls that day. And it's just like, I don't know, it was really bad. I hated it. I felt like a zombie. I hated working in the office. It was like mindless work. And I was just like that annoying person on the phone trying to get people's contacts and getting rejected constantly. Anyway, so I did that for a year. I saved up enough money, and then I went and studied graphic design in college, which was a 1-year course. Now, unfortunately, when I finished, I just didn't feel like graphic design was for me. I think because I had a taste of working in an office, and I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to do this for the rest of my life. Like, do I want to do this 9 to 5, like in an office? Like, I didn't really know. And I did like the designing aspects, but then at the end of the day, you kind of like putting the client's idea on paper, if you know what I mean. Thankfully, what I learned in that course, I still use today in my work on YouTube, like designing thumbnails and like Instagram, like editing photos and stuff. So that all came in handy. Now, after that, I felt like, I completely failed. Like I just wasted all this money, did this course, and I didn't really want to do this like graphic design career. And so I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And I had no choice but to just like keep searching, keep finding what it was that I wanted to do. And at that time, I was searching for something that I wanted to do for the rest of my life, because I would meet people and they'd be like, oh, I've been a hairdresser for like 15 years. And I'm like, man, I can't even stick with like one thing for a year. Like how does someone do the same job for 15 years? Like it just like amazed me, and I was like constantly searching for something like that. Anyway, so when I thought about it, the next thing on my list was beauty therapy. Like I liked skincare, I liked, getting facials and going for treatments, and I thought like, what, maybe I would like to learn about that and become a beauty therapist. And so once again, I went and studied, but this time I didn't have to save up the money up front, because it was like, there was like a government vet fee help. So the government would pay for it first, and you would just pay the debt back after you work. And so I did that, and I think it was like 15 grand or so. Man, like these courses were expensive. And so I did that, and that was another year. I enjoyed that. I worked in a salon for a little bit, like not long at all. And I worked from home. I did eyelash extensions, hair extensions, like I did facials, waxing. So I kind of like made my own like side hustle. After that, I didn't fully go open up a salon. I just kind of took clients in at home at my mum's house. But after that, I wasn't really feeling it. I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to do this. Like, is this going to be like the rest of my life kind of career? And then I was like, oh my God, here I go again. What am I going to do? I'm back at square one. I am a complete failure. Why can't I stick to one thing? I was like really mad at myself, but also I just told myself, don't worry, you'll find it. This next thing will be it. And so I was like, okay, how can I combine design, like the graphic design that I learned, and beauty therapy together? And bang, makeup. Like that's what I thought. I'm like, okay, makeup isn't as bad, because if the clients don't like it, then they can just wash it off. It's not like I'm waxing like someone's eyebrow shape, and if they don't like it, then it's going to take ages for them to grow back. So I'm not really doing that much damage if my work's bad. And so I studied a 6 months course in design and applied makeup at a college. That course I think cost like $6,000, and there was no like vet fee help, like no government grants or anything, so I had to like pay it up front. So like now that I think about it, I did spend a lot of money on studying. Thankfully, I did stick with makeup. I decided, I'll do this freelance thing because I get the flexibility that I like. I get to take the clients in that I enjoy, and even if work sucked that day, like the next day it would be completely different because you have different clients or a different wedding to do. And so I did that, and then I mainly focused on doing bridal work. So I did like bridal makeup and also like hairstyling, so updos. And then I also taught workshops like at my mum's house. I kind of converted one of the rooms into like a studio, and I could take about like 8 students. And so in winter time when wedding season was like over, I would teach so I can make money. And then when weddings were back on, then I would book all the clients. And so then YouTube came along, and YouTube was my side hobby or side hustle, you could say. And when it came to YouTube, I had no idea what to do. Like, I think I kind of dabbled in photography a little bit, but I didn't really know much about video. I didn't know how to edit. I didn't really know about lighting. And so I had to like go learn all these things. But the thing is, at that time, there was no like course that you could do. Like, I couldn't attend a college and be like, okay, this is how you be a YouTuber. There was nothing like that. And so I had to search online and do these online courses or just YouTube stuff. Like, I was YouTubing how to make YouTube videos. How funny is that? And so most of it was self-taught. Like, I just had to study and kind of just like figure it out as I went. And I kind of like learned on the job pretty much. And so I would do YouTube like during the week when it was quiet, and on the weekends or towards the end of the week, I would work and do like my makeup clients. Now, after about like maybe like 2 years of being on YouTube, yeah, maybe around 2 years of being on YouTube, my channel had grown really quickly. I was still doing makeup on the side and then YouTube as my little hobby, and it was making a little bit of income. Not enough though, like I couldn't like pay my rent completely off that. And so I still had to do makeup, but it was growing, and a lot of you guys started watching, subscribing. I got a lot more traction, and then I started to get like some brand sponsorships here and there. And I was like, oh my God, wow, this is amazing. Like, you know, I have like extra pocket money. I can like save for this, and just like, it was really good at that time. But then the only problem was this one time I had to cancel on a bride. Oh, it was so bad. Like, I just hate myself. Like, I just think back, I'm like, oh my God. This bride had booked me a year in advance. And because that's like how advanced people book for weddings, right? You book your venue, you lock in your hair and makeup artist because like the dates fill up super quickly. And so this bride had booked me a year in advance, and it was like maybe like a month or 2 before her wedding. Oh, God. And I got the opportunity to work with Mecca, and they offered me like a all expense paid trip to LA to meet like brands like Smashbox, Kate Somerville, like all the brands that I like have been dying to meet, and like the brands that I love. And I was like, oh my God, I have this like once in a lifetime opportunity, but then I have a bride booked in on those same dates. What do I do? And thankfully, the bride, she was super amazing. She was really understanding, and she told me like, Tina, I am really disappointed. That word kills me, but I do understand that this is a big deal for you. And so I organized another like makeup artist to do her wedding day. I did her like pre-wedding shoot or trial for free, and it all worked out in the end, and I went on this trip. But after coming back, I was like, oh my God, okay, like, what do I do? Do I continue booking clients in, or do I pursue this YouTube career? Like makeup, I knew for sure that it was growing, my business was growing, so I had this like certainty there, whereas YouTube, I had like this uncertainty, but then I had all this hope for it. And I was like, well, I can't do both, because if these opportunities come up, I cannot keep canceling on my clients. Like, that is just really bad, and I don't want to like disappoint anyone. And plus, it's bad for the business. And I just thought, okay, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And you know, I was just like, you know what? I'll just try it. I'll just try it. Tina tries it. Tina tries to do YouTube full time. And so I just bit the bullet. And I was like, okay, look, after these clients, I am not going to book anyone new in, and I'm going to do this YouTube thing full time, and I'm going to go hard. I'm going to hustle. I'm going to work hard. I'm going to make it. And I don't know, I guess like making it at that time was like, oh, I'm going to hit 1 million like subscribers. And I thought that like, yep, I'll be set then. Like, I would be this amazing person. I'd be like filthy rich, but really, I was wrong. I was so wrong. And so up until now, I think I've been doing YouTube for about 6 years. I think I've been doing full time for about 3. yeah, I'd like to say 3 years. Maybe this would be my 4th year coming. And thanks to YouTube and thanks to you guys, I was able to launch my brands. Like I have 2 brands, Petite Cosmetics, my lashes, and also Mark and Scribe, my makeup bags, travel goods and accessories, and it's all personalized and monogrammed. And so when I started those 2 businesses, like I've never done e-commerce in my life. Like I had to kind of go back to how I learned how to make YouTube videos. Like I went online, did a lot of reading, searched, watched a lot of videos on how to use Shopify, how to use MailChimp, all this stuff. And I'm still learning today. And it's amazing because I guess like I would have never expected that leaving school, my life would turn out to be what it is today. Like I didn't even dream of having this sort of like success in a way. Like I didn't think that I would have such a big following on YouTube and be able to meet so many of you guys and connect with like so many people around the world. That just like blows my mind. Like still today, gives me goosebumps right now. Whew. Also, I didn't think I would get into business. Like I didn't think I would start my own brands and like be really hands-on with it. And it just proves that, you know, if you put your mind to it, or if you just give things a go, you just never know like where it will lead you. Now, by no means am I recommending anyone leave school early. So if any parent out there is watching, please hear me out. I just wanted to give another perspective on, I guess, like your stigma on people that leave school early or high school dropouts. Like it's not always bad. And I think it just proves that if you put in the hard work and you don't stop searching for what it is that you're passionate about and just try new things and always upskill, I think that was the main key to like where I am today. Like if I didn't go out and take initiative and be motivated to learn, to save up money, to go to college, and like to just even like give YouTube a shot, I wouldn't have today. You know what I mean? I'm so glad I didn't succumb to society's standards of just like sticking in a job that you hate and just staying in it for the money. I feel like because I did so many jobs and I hated most of them, I just understood the value of my time a little bit more, because no matter how much money you make, you can never buy back the time that you spent working that job that you hate. So why don't you just spend the time to find what it is that you love, and then it doesn't feel like you're working. You know what I mean? Like nowadays, I feel so fortunate that I am able to like sit here in the comfort of my own home and make videos for you guys, and hopefully like have this video inspire you to do something about your life. If you're unhappy, if you're happy, hallelujah, that's amazing. I'm so happy for you. But if you feel like something is missing or something can be better in your life, and if there's something that you've always wanted to do and you've just been scared to do it, I would just tell you to just go out and try it. Like do Tina tries it out in real life. Do you know what I mean? Like you don't know until you give it a go. And I'm so thankful that I did, and I'm gonna continually try things out. You know, I don't know if I'll be on YouTube forever, and this is definitely not gonna be like my end game here. I just know that life has so much to offer, and you know, I am all about absorbing it in and just taking the opportunities as they come. Whew, I don't know how long I spoke for. If you guys are still watching, thank you so much for still tuning in to this lengthy video. I hope you got something out of this video, and I hope that you do enjoy these Tina Sashimi videos. I'd like to do a lot more, and like it's funny because towards the end of this video I feel a lot more comfortable talking about like my journey, whereas in the beginning I'm like all tense and just like, what am I doing? What am I talking about? But I do feel like for both of us, it is like therapeutic, and it's nice for me to actually think back and reflect on my journey so far, because a lot of the time, sometimes we're just too busy hustling, working, and we forget to just sit down and reflect and just be like, oh my God, like this is how far we've come. So I feel like that's what this video has done for me. And you know, like I said, I hope you get something out of it too. That is it to this Tina Sashimi video. There's a lot more topics that I do want to touch on, but if there are topics that you want me to talk about, please let me know below. I will be reading the comments. And yeah, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Follow me on Instagram at Tina_Yong. And I shall speak to you guys next time. Bye.